themselves and cause the autoimmune response and swelling, not just in the brain, but in other glands and organs, and that's where most of the damage is coming from, not just the cancer viruses, not just the neurological damage of the mercury itself. What's your intel on that as a medical doctor?
Well, I think he's absolutely right. And remember what Bertrand Russell said in his book on page 53, The Impact of Science on Society. By diet, injections, and injunctions will alter the brain patterns of our children. That's exactly what it was about. He was one of the elitists. He laid it all out. But we can't let the people know there really are evil people who want to harm their children.
All right, let's take a call. I'm going to go get calls quickly now. Chris in Maryland, you're on the air with Dr. Stan Monteith. Go ahead.
Hey, doctor. It's an honor to talk to you. I was a combat lifesaver in the Army years ago, and one of the things that we were taught is to give vaccines for the flu. And during the course, the instructor had said, now these actual flu vaccines are from last year's strain. And I questioned him and I asked, why are we getting last year's strain? Because of, if it's this year that we're living in, what good is last year's strain going to be? And it makes sense now with all these nanoparticles, these adjuvants such as mercury, the other stuff.
Yeah, you're not given the shot to take care of the flu. You're giving it to be brain damaged.
Exactly. And now I understand why I've got these medical disabilities such as IBS and autoimmune system infection where it's attacking my own body.
Sure.
It makes perfect sense.
Were you in during the Gulf War, during the first Gulf War?
Unfortunately, yes.
Well, that's because that's when they used the experimental vaccine, so-called Vaccine A, with the squalene in it, and over almost 80,000 of the 690,000 troops we sent are dead already. And of course, they're monitoring this very closely to see.
Yeah, the Army admits it was the squalene. You're lucky you're not dead.
Yeah.
You're lucky the Army admits you've been soft-killed, and I'm sorry they tried to murder you. Just be glad you're not dead and warn as many people as you can before they continue the murders.
Well, I just got out of the hospital because of it. I had some bleeding, and the only good thing I got out of it was the morphine. That was about the only good thing that I got out of the whole
Well, they hit you hard, and I'm sorry they did. But see, they hate you. As somebody that believes they're patriotic, they hate you. They hate their servants.
Yeah, and this reminds me, the Christianity in this country is not the Christianity that Jesus taught back in his day. I know it, because the churches are teaching people to, pray for your leaders, pray for your country. Why would I want to pray for a country that wants to kill me for first?
Your country.
Well, it's not your country. It's a criminal corporate group. Look, if hijackers hijack a plane, does everybody bow down because they put the captain cap on? No, it's illegitimate. It's a hijacking. It's a global corporate takeover. They wrap themselves in the flag and then carry out their operations. Dr. Monteith, you wanted to comment?
Can't say it better than that. It is not our country. Our country has been taken over. We have a visible government. We have an invisible government, which I call the Brotherhood of Darkness. People need to understand that. And they want to destroy the majority of the people in the world.
And by the way, I know there are new military people who aren't veterans yet, a lot of police listening. Most of you don't laugh, some do. Go ahead, take all the shots, get diabetes when you're 35, let your kid get cancer when they're 10, and then you won't be laughing. This isn't a game. I'm not up here risking my life to tell you about this stuff. They've killed a lot of people. And I appreciate your call, Chris. I'm sorry they did that to you, but Dr. Monteith, I'm sure you saw the ABC News article from 3 or 4 months ago with the headline that Merck, quote, sent out hit teams to doctors' homes. And in court documents, it came out that they said, we've got to seek and destroy, take them out, hit them. Anyone that criticizes our drugs and vaccines. And then when Merck got caught in federal court with these internal corporate documents, they said, we just meant that as a joke, saying hit teams.
Well, this is nothing funny about what's going on. The number of people who've been killed, the number of children whose lives have been destroyed forever. 1 in every 60 to 90 boys in the United States is autistic, and they did it on purpose. That's what's so uncomfortable.
Now, they call autism the range of brain damage caused from the chemical weapon and biological weapons in the vaccines.
Right.
Let's talk. Go ahead.
The thing is that basically probably every child has been injured to some
coming out with pharmacological crops that have the vaccines in them.
Right. Oh, so the GMO foods is a disaster. That's why they're storing the seeds up above the Arctic Circle, so that they will have them there when they start in all over again.
John in North Carolina, you're on the air worldwide.
Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity. I know your time is short. Just a couple of things. We had black helicopters directly over our house just day before yesterday. I was trying to get in with you.
They were scanning you.
Well, I mean, they were right over our house, looking in our windows, I mean, within 100 feet.
Yeah, they do that. Everybody gets those visits. It's all part of being a slave.
Well, the thing is, we have no criminal history at all.
That's why. If you were a criminal, they'd like you. They don't like producing good red-blooded Americans. The MIAC report, Homeland Security says you are the enemy.
Right, and they were definitely showing that. I've been talking to people around here and showing them the 800 FEMA camps. And yesterday I was at the Hertford Chamber of Commerce and got the pandemic flu and U, which is to be given to the, this is a checklist for the employers. And right down in there, and I show this right along with the detention, concentration camps under 1.2 it says plan for the impact of a pandemic on your employees and customers, and it says forecast and allow for employees' absence during a pandemic due to factors such as personal illness, family illness, and here's where it is, community containment measures and quarantines.
Yeah, send that to us. We've seen that in the news, but it's always good. Send it to writers at Infowars.com. God bless you, sir. I've got to move quick because we're almost out of time. But we just put up on screen Vioxx maker Merck and co-drew Dr. Hit List. An international drug company made a hit list of doctors who had to be neutralized or discredited because they criticized their anti-arthritis drug the pharmacological giant produced. And it goes on to say neutralize with seek and destroy teams. Go to where they live. Destroy them where they live. Go to their homes. They mean business. This is a hardcore savage group.
And, Chris, what they do is they demonize them, they marginalize them, they get them in front of a group of doctors, and they laugh at them. And it takes a lot of courage to stand up against them and say, why are you doing things that are going to damage and kill people?
And as you said earlier, they have training manuals of how the head doctors call you in a group. They laugh, knowing the average fluoride head will laugh too. And again, it's all psychology, all dog training.
Well, I tell you what, I was in the House of Delegates of the California Medical Society for 10 years. I finally brought the whole House of Delegates behind me, got a standing ovation, and of course the leaders of organized medicine still refuse to address the AIDS epidemic and to stop the unnecessary deaths. We've killed over 500,000 people in America unnecessarily. Another million are infected, and they're going to die. But people say, well, most of them are black. That's not going to affect
they're just going to put a red ribbon on and go to a dinner and feel good.
Right. Well,
so the globalists are also good at creating movements of charities around the black ops they're running to then act like they're the saviors while they do it. It's so sick.
I know it really is. But one day Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton and Farrakhan are going to have to stand before the Lord and answer for what they've done and the betrayal of the black people.
I hear you. We're going to have you back up soon about the whole HIV situation. John, is it John in North Carolina next, or is it Steve? Stephen in Texas. You're on the air with Dr. Stan Monteith.
Yeah, hi, Alex. Hey, Dr. Monteith, good to talk to you. As a Bible-believing Christian, I'm sure you've heard of Jonathan Edwards,
sure,
who preached the most well-known sermon in American history, Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God. I don't know if you're aware of how he died, but and this relates to vaccines, and I have something else I want to bring up if you have time. But in 1758, he was given the smallpox vaccine, and that's what killed him.
Well, I wish we had Jonathan Edwards back again, because he led the Great Awakening in 1730 that saved America. Well, what we need is a great revival today. Short of that, I don't think we have any possibility of survival.
And the other thing I wanted to ask is, have you ever heard of a book called Horrors of Vaccination Exposed and Illustrated? It was published
I've got a copy right here by my right hand.
Yeah, and I had sent a copy of that to Alex, but I just wanted to give you real quick some quotes right at the beginning. It's real short. Dr. James J. Garth Wilkinson in 1876 said this: "This amazing act is the homicidal